Okay, so today we're going to look into data validation. So the first thing I'd like you to do, please, is I'd like you to research and describe what is validation. Okay, so pause this video and write that down now. Welcome back. Hopefully you've looked into what data validation is and you found it somewhat useful to you. So today we're going to check the accuracy of data. We're going to describe various validation checks and give examples. So firstly, data validation and what it is. So data validation takes place when data is entered into a computer. The data validation process simply ensures that the data follows a set of rules and ensures that the data is sensible and the rules are set are being followed by the user. So what data validation doesn't do is check whether the data is correct or not. But what it does is it follows a set of rules. So here's an example, okay? So this is a railway ticket. You can find these in almost any country. So this is a season ticket. And when the ticket is put through the barriers, there's a number of validation processes that take place. And if they pass, they allow the ticket holder to go through the barrier until after the expiry date. Okay, after the expiry date is passed, they will no longer be able to go through. Okay? So what it does is firstly, it checks the dates. So the date is important because, as you can see, the start date is the 1st of January and then the end date is the 31st of December. So this ticket cannot be used before the 1st of January 2014 and it cannot be used after the 31st of December 2014. So if it's on these dates or within them, then the user can go through the barrier. So the next check is whether there's a route that it's supposed to take. Now it can take any route. So any route that the person wants to follow, they can use. It's no problem at all. The next validation is it will permit the ticket holder to go from these stations and to these stations. No other station will be allowed. So that's 3 validation processes that will take place. Now, task 1, this is not an assessed task. This is something you're just going to give a go. So I'd like you to create a simple flowchart to describe the process of validation. Now, you can use the train ticket as an example if you wish, or if you can think of another validation process of your choice, okay, like for example, a payment of a card, whether they've got money in bank or not, then you can do that. So here are the symbols. Okay, so the decision would be the validation. So for example, it would be, has it passed the validation? Yes, then they can go to the next stage. If not, it goes back to the start. Okay, this is not an assessed task. This is just something that you can have a go at using your pen and paper. So pause this video now and give it a go. Welcome back. I hope you found that useful. So now what we're going to go through is a couple of different types of validations. Okay, so a validation check is called the presence check. Now, this is used to ensure that data is entered into the required fields because some data cannot be left blank. So, for example, if you was to fill out a form, they may want your name and they may want ways to get in touch with you. So, for example, they may want your email address or your phone number, and you cannot leave any of those blank on the form. So if they did, they would say, please fill out this field. Another example may be, for example, if you're filling out an email address and you've got to have the @ symbol, and they would check to see if that is present or not. Okay, so what they're checking for is whether data is present in those fields. Now, here's an example, as I said. So here's a field. So you see these fields that have got the star right here, okay? So the name and the email address and the comments and questions cannot be left blank. So what would happen is if any of those are left blank, it tends to highlight in red and it will tell the user to complete them, okay, like the code here. So they have to fill out this code. they cannot submit the form unless those fields are completed. Now, the next one is a range check. And this check ensures that the data is within a defined range. So, for example, the user can set a limit check to 50 characters or higher and lower values. Now, here's some examples of validations right here. Okay, so the number of students in a class must be between 5 and 28. The lower boundary is 5 and the upper boundary is 28. So this would be a range check. Now, if this was to be placed, for example, in Microsoft Access, then this is maybe how you would fill it out. This one here is an opinion poll is taken and asks for respondents' age. The respondents have to be at least 18 years old. The lower boundary is 18. There is no upper boundary. So this could be written as equal to or greater than 18. So if anybody else, so this would be a limit check. And if anybody fills out, for example, 17 years old, it wouldn't allow them to move on. Okay, and this one here is, this is also a limited check where they use grades. Okay, so they use letters of the alphabet. Okay, your task is you're going to complete this worksheet. So I've been through a couple of validations and you're going to check out the rest. So obviously you can use your school textbook for this. Now, the worksheet is here. Okay, so types of validation checks. So I'll just open it up so you can see it. Okay, here it is. So you basically describe and give an example of each type of check. Okay, very best of luck.